Howdy, I'm CyberAxe with Outlandishly Crafted. And today, we're going to be talking about how to install a Zcash node. I've made this guide for grandmas and anybody that wants to do it to try to make it as easy as possible. So we've got a written guide in here. It's not perfect, but at least gives you the basic ideas of everything. And we are going to go through this process and show how easy it is. So we go to a command prompt, we go into our folder where we put all our scripts, preferably not in your main user folder, but make a folder for it, Zcash node, and then we're going to do sudo bash zec node, and we want to do a clean at the end. So there's a whole bunch of scripts, and we're going to start the clean script. And then we put our password in for sudo, and it's going to start the rest of the process. We pretty much just have to hit enter for most of these. They're just defaulted, and they're all just doing different steps that have to be done. So the first step here, we need to select the hard drive. So we hit do 1 for the hard drive. It does not work with second hard drives right now. And we just keep doing the defaults. Do we want to do static IP forwarding? You do want to do this. You want to set it to do yes and set it to a static IP. Remember, if you're remoted in, that it's going to reset the remote session. I have it defaulted to 230 just to make it easier for everyone when they're doing their port forwarding. So after you do that step, you just enter a few more times, and then it continues on to the next step. Then we do the tool chain, do next, and then ask for a domain name. So you want to do a subdomain. I'm doing zcash.don'tpanic.biz with my email address. And then ask for a U address, and this is your wallet that you put in if you want to get donations. So while I'm getting that, let's talk about the domain. So the subdomain is something that you go buy a domain from like GoDaddy for $15 a year, and then in there you're going to set up a subdomain like I did Zcash, and then you're going to point that to your public IP address of your internet that's hosting this, and that's going to allow it to connect into this server and communicate with it. Now another step in that is you need to do port forwarding, and there's tons of guides on how to do port forwarding. And so you're going to port forward the ports in your router that are going to send that data from outside to this inside computer. In the inside computer, we set it at an IP address of 192.168.1.230. Or if you're on a 192.168.0.network, then it would be 192.168.0.230. If you need help with that, reach out to the community. This is not a step that really is something I can do in the guide. So pretty much all we've done so far is hit enter many times, select one for the hard drive, put in our subdomain, put in our email, put in our U wallet address, and hit enter again. And it's gone out and it's gotten all of the dependencies. It enabled the firewall, it turned on the ports for the firewall, and we're done. Now keep in mind in this process there's a few steps that might take up to 15 minutes, a process that takes 2 to 3 minutes, and I skip those out and it just goes. But here we go. Now we've got a full node installed, and now it's going to take 3 to 5 days to sync all that data, and you'll see that there's an error here, but I put the next command. This just didn't start the monitor. So you put the next command in, which is the you want a sudo bash zebra monitor sh, and run that, and then that's going to show you the status of the sync, and it's going to start up the dashboard so you can watch the status from other computers on your network if you want, or on the same system. So we start that up. It opens up the web server. It also starts this bash dashboard. So this is going to monitor the status of your sync. You can see right now the sync is at 0.1 0.14%, and this will just keep refreshing itself every 30 seconds and keep it up and tell you, hey, the status of everything. There's a cool little picture, and then it kind of tells you the stats and then the log right here. And when this is done, then that'll say all updated, and everything will be good there. Now we also added a web interface, but the web interface can't really do anything until the node's fully synced. So once the node's fully synced, then you can pop up the web interface. Until then, it just looks like this, where there's no real data for it. But that's pretty much it. You've gotten your node ready to go. You've put in all the needed stuff. The script did all of the work, and now you just wait for it to finish syncing. You can see there's 12 peers helping out right now. And then once it's all synced, then it's going to look like this. This is a sync system. So you can see that all of the data is active. We're at the current block. Our sync times, our IPs match our DNS information, which is important. That if those ever don't match each other, then you need to update your DNS record. And then you can see the rest. We have how many peers are helping, how many connections we've done, how much CPU, the logs, everything's running great. And now here, if we hit M, we'll open up our web interface. And this is designed that you can just have it sitting on the page. And then in here shows all that same data, just in a nicer, easier view. And this updates every 30 seconds or something, and they just make it nice and easy for you to know that everything's running in the background. So that's it. I'm CyberAxe with Outlandishly Crafted, and this has been a guide how to set up a Zcash node and a custom dashboard I put in there. Man, if this helped you out, send us some funds. We could definitely use them. This took weeks to do. It was a lot of work to get the script working that a grandma could do. So definitely help us out. You address in the comment or in the dashboard as well. Thank you for watching.